Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by that prize guy.
Job done for Moses Itauma, job done for Queensbury and DAZN. Fantastic fight card here. Magnificent 7 is now in the books. And we are going to look back at it. Ade Oladipo alongside Carl Frampton, Darren Barker. I was going to say Barry Jones. I'm so used to Barry Jones being there. And Fabio Wardley, who's certainly not Barry Jones. Very quickly, I was in the ring. Jermaine Franklin's team obviously didn't stay for an interview. Very, very upset with Steve Gray's stoppage. Anyone have any issues with the stoppage?
I get it from Franklin, because obviously, look, he's just been hit heavy. He's a proud man. He want to continue. I imagine he's the type of person that would rather be carried out than walk out of the ring. But for the corner man to have a go at Steve Gray and say that fight should have been allowed to continue is not like, what does he want them dead? What does he want? I have no idea. Why?
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It was an absolute peach of a shot. No complaints whatsoever.
Yeah, you've never seen anyone do anything even remotely close like that to Jermaine Franklin. He was sprawled out on the floor. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, clambered to his feet and found his way up, but not on steady legs at all, not comfortable, not ready to go again. And look, he's a prideful man, like Frampton said, but that's the ref's job at the end of the day, is to save you from yourself.
I understand, as you said, Carl, Jermaine Franklin being upset because ultimately he's never been stopped before. His corner being upset is what's bothering me.
Yeah, it's bothering me.
Because they're the ones that can clearly see he's out cold and they're angry.
I don't know who the corner is. Maybe they've trained. I don't know who they've trained before or what. Maybe they're loads of experience in this game, but in my eyes, they're idiots. That was an idiotic move.
By the way, I'm just being told in my ear it was near 20 seconds before Jermaine Franklin got up.
Yeah, so there's no questions, there's no argument, there's no anything. Again, with the corner and the team and stuff, there's you should be having your fighter's best interest at heart, and that's why you have. I don't know in particular how long those trainers, those teams have been with him. Maybe they're new, maybe they're not, but one way or another, you should be looking out for your man at the end of the day.
Indeed, indeed. There's more of Jermaine Franklin's career to come. All right, let's have a look at that stoppage. And it was a beautiful shot. It's the way in which he set it up as well. Okay, we're going to go for the round, actually. This was the first knockdown, Darren. What do you make of it?
It's just so intelligent, the way he picks his shots. There's always thought behind his work, always looking to find the trap.
Same punch you threw against Dillian White, that.
Yeah, he uses that lead hand so well. We see it against Balogun as well, didn't we? But look at the feet. Look at that. It's perfect. The weight, he's just felt the weight of Franklin on him. He's taken a little step back and he's just executed an absolute stunning left uppercut, and rightly so, closed the show. We are looking at an absolute superstar here.
Yeah, you know what, it's good to see, and I say this with Fabio on stage and Daniel. Obviously, we've got almost an old guard of British heavyweights coming to the end. Tyson Fury, AJ, Chisora White, and we've got a new guard now, Fabio, Daniel, Moses, and it's good to see almost this kind of passing of the torch.
That's what it's like, and I mean, boxing is alive at the minute, and I mean, at the heavyweight division especially, the UK, it's incredible, and Frank seems to have them all the top heavyweights, maybe apart from AJ. Is that the only one that he doesn't have?
Yeah, part-time Dave Allen.
Yeah, well, Dave Allen too, but you know, the top guys in the world, it's the boxing scene is incredible, but specifically for the heavyweights, I've never seen anything like it.
And you know, me and Darren kind of looked at each other when he came out and he got the reception from the crowd, and I kind of felt he's not really headlined here, has he, in the UK? Obviously, Dillian White was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Balogun was on the undercard of Josh Taylor in Scotland. So this is the first time he's really walked out to, I guess, his crowd.
And he's crossing over, isn't he? You know, to the sport fan, not just the boxing fan. Now, you know, I'm speaking to friends that don't really follow boxing, but they know who Moses Itauma is. And with performances like that, it's just going to grow and grow and grow. Momentum. I don't think it's going to be long until we see him in stadium fights.
Fabio, you know what I'm going to ask next, Fabio?
It's the same question I've been asked all night. Fabio. That's half the reason why I think I'm here. I think it's the only reason I'm up here and I got the gig.
Big target on your back, mate.
No, but I mean, obviously, as someone in the same division, you must be watching it thinking, yes, you're proud of your stablemate, someone that you train along with, but at the same time, you must think, you know what people like Ade is going to ask?
Yeah, all the time. And look, I'll keep it the same. Right now, we're in different places.
Yeah.
right now, although and that is an emphatic victory, he deserves all the credit in the world because Franklin's a tough opponent and no one's done that to him. And Moses, I've seen firsthand, and I know firsthand, he has all the talent in the world as well. But we are in different places. He's looking towards where I am currently, a world champion. I'm looking at Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. I'm looking higher than that still. So there is still a gap of separation between us in terms of where we are. And that's only due to time and experience and time in the game. But the obvious question is if and when it comes around. And my same answer has been, look, there's 4 belts. There's 2 of us. The only time this ever becomes a serious conversation is if I have 2, he has 2, and then we have to kind of have a look around and go, well, what are we going to do here? Are we going to do a Klitschko where we just kind of hold on to him and we just do our defenses and we kind of just hold down the gym and have all 4 belts in there and just keep defending? Or, look, as the boxing public, they are vultures. They want the fight.
In that situation, Fabio, 2 belts, you have 2, Moses has 2. What would you want to do? Happy to keep the 2, or do you want to try and get them all?
No, look, don't get me wrong. I would always want to be undisputed.
Good question,
Yeah, I know. He's found a way to like maneuver through, isn't he? He's got round it in. But look, the title of undisputed is something that I'm sure Moses himself will want to claim at some point, and something I will always want to claim. So yes, look, if that was the case, then like I said, that's the only time that would ever be a serious question, but it's in the distant future right now.
You are correct. Look, we're going to talk about what next for Moses very shortly. We've all kind of got a list of fighters we'd like to see him in the ring with next. Anything else catch your eye on the card? I mean, Brad Pauls.
That was Hollywood. That was a Rocky film.
Yeah.
That, you know, he was right up against it there. You heard Terry Stewart in the corner saying, do you want to win this fight? You're going to have to throw the kitchen sink at him. And he delivered. And that potentially has earned him a shot at the IBF middleweight world title. I mean, it was stunning, spectacular.
And that's 60 seconds of Murphy Holmes. Unreal.
Oh, yeah.
What a run.
Like, what,
Here's the Brad Pauls one. It almost looked like Shaquille Thompson was just going to go to a comfortable points decision, and it would have been a near shutout.
And maybe that was the problem. Maybe that is the problem, is that he felt too comfortable. He felt too comfortable in the situation. He was boxing too nicely, and Brad Pauls, like we've said up here, with the extra experience, is like, no, there's still rounds to go in this fight. I'm still, and again, underrated puncher, and he knows, like in the Nathan Heaney fight, he can carry it all the way through and get rid of you.
Who mentioned Murphy Holmes?
That was me.
Was that you? That was the best 60 seconds.
Honestly, wild. Absolutely wild.
That was our Hagler Hearns, wasn't it? They just went at each other. And it was crazy.
Unbelievable. And that kick-started the night. The whole night from top to bottom.
Yeah, it really set the tone.
Incredible.
And the big question mark here was, how good is Holmes? And I'm telling you now, although he had no names on his card up until this was spectacular. It really was. He was hurt with a nice shot from Murphy, but he bounced back, showed resilience, and look what he'd done to Murphy there. I mean, it was a real great start to the show, wasn't it?
That's the other side to it, isn't it? What it shows as well. Like, that in itself of a 60-second clip is great, but also what it shows for him as a fighter, as a bit more of a ticket seller guy, and getting the crowd here and doing it on the big stage. That's fantastic for him.
That's fantastic as well. That shows you can't even have a drink or eat on comms anymore, because there's always a camera watching you. Right, the fans at home have been getting involved as well. Olivia Wayne's got some of the results from the polls we've been doing all night. Olivia, what can you tell us?
Yes, they've been getting involved. FanZone has been kicking off. All right, let's bring you the results of our polls. First up, fighter of the night is going to make no shock to anyone that, of course, it was Itauma with 82% of the vote, although Pauls did get 10%. The knockout of the night, yep, you guessed it, it went to Itauma again in Itauma versus Franklin. 95% of you rated that the best knockout of the night, and we did have some good ones. Davies versus Grandielli got 2%. Fight of the night, now that went to Itauma versus Franklin. No shocks there. 71% of you voted for that one. Thompson versus Pauls, though, did get a cheeky 15%. Now, the big question, of course, is who should Moses Itauma fight next? The polls are in. This is what the fans decided on FanZone. 28% of you want Daniel Dubois. AJ, Anthony Joshua, 26%. Caballel creeping in with 17%. And Wardley with 16%. Plenty to look forward to coming up, of course. And I'm very curious to hear what you guys make of those results.
Very interesting. Okay, so Daniel Dubois was the #1 choice. I guess that's providing he loses to Fabio Wardley, right? Daniel Dubois, AJ was there. That's never going to happen. I can just put that one to bed. AJ's not fighting Moses Itauma. Fabio Wardley was in there as well, 16%. Okay, here's the list of suspects. Here's the list of potential opponents. Cole, so you said what?
I like the Frank Sanchez fight for him. I think he's highly ranked with the IBF, maybe.
Yeah, you are correct. Yeah.
Usyk has the IBF at the minute, but there's a chance that he may, or does he have the IBF?
Yeah, Usyk does have the IBF.
But the IBF are normally strict with the regulations, and they may strip him. So I like that fight for him. My choices are on the screen. Someone's telling me in the ear. Let me see. Frank Sanchez, the loser of Dubois, Wardley, and Big Wardley is thinking that's not going to be him or Filip Hrgović after the Dave Allen fight, depending. So,
yeah. I mean, I'm getting more carried away, if I'm honest. Like, it was all about if Moses Itauma could stop Franklin, and he's done that. So I'm going with the governing bodies now. Bar Fabio, obviously, and we've heard why. I think the WBA. So there's 2 versions of that. So Gassiev is the
we don't count.
Okay, but it's the regular champion, and we've heard from the team that he fancies it. So there's one option there. Then there's the super champion. Why not? Everybody wants to go and face against the best. They want to fight the best. All right, it may be too early. It probably is too early, but sling him in with Usyk. Let's see what happens. I don't mind that.
That's too big a cue.
And then
he's had an espresso over there. He's had a shot of coffee.
I don't care. And the other one is, you know, if you're looking at the governing bodies, he's #3 in the WBC, so that would pretty much say Caballel. That's my list.
That's where I stand. I stand in the middle of Caballel or Okoli. I think it's a great fight for him, because it's next up with the governing bodies in terms of being ordered. So if he does want a world title before the end of the year, he is able to squeeze that in. Caballel himself right now is currently in a bit of no man's land.
Yeah, good
because
point.
He's not listed in Usyk's list of 3 with the Egypt fight with Mia Dubois and then finishing with Tyson Fury. Caballel's nowhere to be seen in there. So that means there's going to be a mandatory force or something like that. So Caballel's without an opponent currently. So if I'm Caballel, all right, let me take out the young gun before he goes too far.
You know what I said? So I said Gassiev, Hrgović, and Caballel. But seeing this lineup now, for me, the obvious one is if he comes through Fraser Clark, it's Justis Huni.
Yeah.
I think Justis Huni is a fantastic boxer, and we saw some of the issues, Fabio, that he, you know, caused you a little bit. I think Justis Huni makes sense, or the guy next to him. I almost feel like he needs an antagonist, someone that's gonna growl and scream, and you know can.
I don't mind the Miller one.
I think the Miller one's a good one as well.
Can I just say as well, what's the point being #1 in a governing body if you're not going to fight the champion? Like you've climbed the rankings. Whether it's
but you're smarter than this, Darren. You understand there's climbing the rankings and there's climbing rankings.
Bodies, you know what they're like, Darren.
Yeah.
They don't allow it, and that's why Caballel's still hanging around. I feel like he's been #1 for quite a while. Or he's been close
He's #1, then Usyk's been allowed a voluntary, then he has to fight Caballel, and it's like, well, how much time? Like, how long am I #1? How much more do I have to prove in them situations?
Right, a man that's not on there, who we now know takes on Filip Hrgović in Doncaster, who might want to be on this list to fight Moses Itauma, is Dave Allen, and he's ringside with Olivia.
Well, Dave Allen, I mean, Moses Itauma is quickly becoming one of Britain's favourite heavyweights. You are one as well. I've seen you with all the fans tonight. You're getting a lot of love. Give me your first thoughts on Moses tonight.
Yeah, it's a superstar already. I think tonight, I had question marks over him still. Tonight he's got a long way to answer a lot of them for me and a lot of other people. I've always thought he was the real deal, but tonight further cemented that.
So tonight he has answered some of the questions that you had?
Not all of them, but I think the only way we're going to get them all answered is Usyk, Wardley, Dubois, and that may be it.
Winner of Alan Hrgović?
We'll see, we'll see.
What did he do so well tonight? What is it that's such a problem? Because it looks like these guys can't live with him. We saw Jermaine Franklin take Anthony Joshua the distance, Dillian White the distance. We've never seen him down, certainly never seen him out like that. What is it that he does?
It's just the speed. The speed is terrifying. I think he was hitting Franklin to the body. I think early on, it was the body shots. Franklin was a bit wary, dropping his hands. He's just so fast. He's terrifying. I was actually watching him from 10 foot away, and I was a bit like, wow, he's very good.
I was a bit like, wow, when I heard it's going to be Dave versus Goliath. You've got a big fight coming up against Filip Hrgović. What are you feeling like right now? How are you finding the reaction out there?
Well, it's gone very well. The tickets will sell. We'll have probably the biggest sporting event ever in Doncaster. I'm very proud of that as well. I'm very, very proud to bring, you know, I think the 5th best heavyweight in the world to Doncaster. And Filip Hrgović will expect jolly, chubby Dave Allen. And I won't roll over for anyone, especially in Doncaster. And I never talk overly confidently, but I fully expect to beat Filip Hrgović. And yeah, he's in for a shock.
Is that what's going to get you over the line then? The fact that it's in Doncaster, the fact that it's been your dream for so long, is that what's going to be different to the Makhmudov fight?
Yeah, it's in Doncaster. I'm a DN12 bad boy for life, as we would say back in the day. And I will be 17.5 stone. I will train properly, I will live properly. And there's not a lot of fighters I've ever said I will beat. I said it about Johnny Fisher at 2. I said it about Lucas Brown. And I say about Filip Hrgović. I will beat Filip Hrgović. It will be it will be the Dave Allen of old, from the amateur days. And I will beat Filip Hrgović.
We look forward to it. Press conference on Tuesday. Ade, back to you.
Sorry, Dev, clearly not Olivia. My apologies.
Similar.
You know, it's good to hear him confident like that, especially when he talks about the weight as well, because that's always been a bone of contention with Dave. Is he serious? And we judge his seriousness by the size of him. When you see him with a bit of you're like, okay, you're not serious. He looks like he's already trimming down. And this is it, isn't it? I mean, I guess this is the last chance. He's been given a few chances. This is the last
100%.
one.
Look, no one wants to see what he did against Makhmudov. Go out there. You know, when he fights people of that lesser quality, when he fought last time, he just goes hell for leather. Just do that and see what happens. There's no point, you know, sort of cruising and defending for 10 rounds. Dave Allen, I've seen him in the gym up close and personal. He's a very talented fighter. He's up against it, but we're rooting for him.
Yeah, it's a big, big fight, as is Fabio Wardy versus Daniel Dubois May 9th. We got a little tease of them coming face to face in the ring earlier. What's that like? You moved away first, Fabio.
Yeah.
You backed away first. I mean,
I'm nervous.
You know what I mean? The people at home on Twitter are like, 1 second. The body language wasn't good.
That's what I mean. I lost that battle. The mental games. This, yeah. Look, it's not something I never put my stock in that. I never put my faith in that. I need to stare you out, or I need to shake your hand firmer than you shake mine.
It's stupid, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the reason I say that is because as a fighter, I feel like if you're looking for those little wins along the way, you're already not confident.
Yeah.
I'm confident based off the work I do in the gym. I'm confident based off the research I do on my fighter, and I'm confident based off the performances I've put in before and what I know in myself. Real factual evidence, not I stared you out longer and I shook your hand firmer. Like they're not real valuable.
There's going to be actual people thinking because you turned away first, oh, that's it, Daniel's won the fight now. That's people are daft.
I'll tell you what though, you got itchy knuckles, haven't you?
I did. I'll tell you what, because do you know what it was? I was in the ring, Tribe was doing his thing, and then they started playing my song, and then a little bounce at my feet came, and I thought,
what a fight that is, what a fight. That's May 9th, so we've still got a long way to go, 6 weeks to go for that one. Let me remind you of what we've got coming up for you though in the next week or so. We've got Brown versus Duca, that one coming up on Friday. Altrincham, Perez versus Montoya on Friday. And then, do I need to remind you about the big one? Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder, 50 versus 50, O2 Arena. That one's going to be very special as well. What a special night it was, gents. What a special night, a long night, but a special night.
But a magnificent night.
Yeah, some upsets, we got some knockouts, we got some unknown fighters, you know, almost come to the fore now. Josh Holmes is certainly one of them. And in the end, Moses Itauma, as another fight is just about to kick off, by the way. Moses Itauma shows us that there's only one sheriff in town. Moses Itauma gets the job done, stopping Jermaine Franklin. Never been stopped before. And who knows, there was a list of fighters that he could fight very soon. We'll see you soon.
They will kill you is so intense. This is all we can show.
Hi. Wow.
They will kill you. Rated R.